Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video I want to look at my team, seeing how well they performed in Game Week 13, then we move ahead to Game Week 14. Now if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. As you can see, for Game Week 13 I got 55 points, above the average of 51, and I made one free transfer. That transfer was me removing Zaha, which got 1 point anyway. It was a little bit of a risky move for me to remove Zaha because a lot of people bought him in. The fixtures are still good for Crystal Palace to get some kind of, him to get some kind of returns. But I risked it and, I went for Foden instead. Great fixture at home against Brighton, but he was on the bench. So wasn't predicting that. Only played 28 minutes, but both of them got 1 point. And the other transfer that I was thinking about was, bringing in Saka as well, or Zaha to Saka. So that was the other transfer. He didn't do that much as well. He didn't return. So kind of like got away with that, to be honest with you. And looking at some of the transfers that I made, like in Game Week 12, I removed Harry Kane. Got only 2 points. I kept him obviously in Game Week 11, so I had the amazing runs. But he's just a player that is just consistent. But I've invested right. I got Mitrovic. He got me a goal. Maddison did not play on that time, and as you can see, he returned. The biggest disappointment here is actually Salah. But looking ahead, I'm pretty sure that we're going to get at least 1 or 2 returns in this next 3 games. So that was the biggest disappointment. Salah not returning big. A lot of people are actually thinking to captain him for this week as well, because Haaland could be injured, but I'm not going to make any transfers right now. I'm going to wait for the press conference and make that final decision. I think if he's out for 1 game, I think I'm just going to keep him and bench him and play like Pereira or something like that. So let's have a look at the team. Now, one of the biggest decisions that I had to make this game week was either play Nick Pope or Ward. And as you can see, my bench again is done well. William was 6. Andreas actually performed. You know what? He played really well in Game Week 12. And he displayed that, and he's displaying that he can bring these returns, being 4.6 million. Yeah, Ward is just continuing to bring the big points. For me, I had to make that decision of should I play Nick Pope. The only reason I went for Nick Pope is I just didn't want to change my goalkeepers around, to be honest. I didn't want to keep chasing and stuff like that. I just thought I'll leave it there and just see what happens. Hopefully, we'll save a lot of shots. But yeah, the best decision was to play Ward instead of him. I was not going to play Williams as well, and I wasn't really going to play Andreas. I think the team that I got is pretty strong was strong for Game Week 13. Bowen was a little bit of a disappointment. Great fixture at home against Bournemouth, and he only got 3 points. Koufal was is been a massive pain, massive pain, but he did come off the bench and got me an assist. The reason that I bought him is I wanted someone really cheap that has a fixture like in Game Week 12 that could help me out, and could help me out in the next few, like in the next fixtures. Great fixtures, and if he did play, then he probably would have got a clean sheet on so I don't know what's happened, but yeah, he's been very disappointing. So let's have a quick look. Nick Pope with 2, Trippier with 2, Cancelo with 2, Koufal with 4 though, Martinez with 2, Salah. A lot of people actually looked at captaining him and captained him against Nottingham Forest. I mean, I don't know why and how they lost against Nottingham Forest. It was just incredible to see. Bowen with 3 and Foden with 1. My strike force though, as you can see, Mitrovic with 6. Getting himself a lovely return against Leeds. Wilson scoring a goal, but got that yellow card. That did not help him out. Only 5 points. He played really well as well. And hopefully, like as him being my big differential, hopefully there's a couple of returns here before I remove him. And obviously, Haaland was my captain, highly owned player. I got to captain him. If I don't, then all that hard work from like 200k to 100k will just completely yeah, be wiped off. So I don't want to make that mistake. So yeah, slowly creeping up. I'm around, I think I'm around 10 points behind the top 100k. So hopefully this works this game week. I've got a couple of like big differentials I'll show you in a second. So this is how the team is looking like. Now, press conference hasn't finished. You know, we've still got a lot of things to go through, a lot of research. And hopefully, let's just say if Haaland is out as an example, right? Then Salah will be my captain against Leeds. I do have Andreas on the bench, so I could play him instead and go with this. And I got Koufal and Williams. Not the best bench then if Haaland is out. So, but looking at the team, let's just remove Haaland for a second. Looking at the team, I've got Trippier and Pope and Wilson against Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa played really well in the last game against Brentford, but this is Newcastle. Newcastle right now is on a different level. And this is a good fixture for Newcastle to get a decent amount of returns for us. And Wilson is 2.4% owned. One of the lowest owned player that could return. And I'm hoping and I'm waiting for that moment that he gets a double-digit return. And that is definitely going to help me push into the top 100k. Because most of my team here, like Cancelo, Salah, Martinelli, Mitrovic, is kind of a template team. So I need Wilson especially, and Nick Pope, to get a big return to push me there. So I'm relying on those two. Cancelo, can help me out with a little bit of a rank boost, but it's not going to be that much. But I'm just happy to own him. Now here's the thing: the third defender, I do have a little bit of money in the bank, and I'm not sure. I know what transfer I want to do, but I don't think I'll be able to get a defender because I don't want to take a -4 point hit. I think I'm just gonna go with the players that I already have. Just hope for the best. So I'm gonna play Dunk against Chelsea. Not really sure if they will be able to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea, but you just never know these days. So he's one of my weakest links, so just going to hope that it does well. Martinelli against Nottingham Forest. Now, this is a good fixture. I know that Nottingham Forest is playing better, but against Arsenal, I think I need more Arsenal players. So that's why I am thinking to remove Bowen. Now, Bowen is 5% owned, so he's not highly owned, sorry. He's low owned. Great fixtures later on, but I think Saka against Nottingham Forest at home is going to be a better bet. That Saka's going to get a better return than Bowen. So against Manchester United. So that's my kind of take on that. Maybe I can bring Bowen back if I wanted to, but for now, I think I want to remove Bowen to Saka. Now, even if there's price rises and so on, I'm still going to wait because there could be more issues with the team. Salah is the potential to be my captain against Leeds. Leeds is conceding a lot of goals, and I can see Mo Salah doing really well in this fixture. I can see Liverpool doing well. I'm thinking to captain him if Haaland is injured and out. Foden, hopefully he has the chance to start, and if he does, I think this is a very good fixture for Manchester City to get returns and Foden to get some points for me. As you can see, I've got Andreas and Mitrovic. Even though Everton, is doing better than before, I think this is a great fixture for Fulham. They're playing so well. They're playing very attacking. They're scoring a lot of goals, and I can see Mitrovic and Andreas actually doing really well here. So if Haaland is out, this will actually help my team out a lot because then I can captain Salah, and there's a potential that I could get a very big green arrow, but we'll see. So Wilson is and Mitrovic there. So Wilson, Bowen, but it's going to be Saka, so we'll go and see the percentage of Saka. A little bit of Foden, Dunk and Pope is my big kind of a different, or the players that is going to help me out with the rankings. So yeah, that's the team really. Let's just have a quick look at the transfer. So I've got 0.5, I've got one free transfer, and the main transfer that I want to do is remove Bowen for Saka. As you can see, Saka is 8 million, 16%, perfect. That's still good enough for me. I know a lot of people are not looking at the percentages and stuff like that. I am. That's how I'm playing it. I'm trying to maintain it. I don't want to go like to the 1 million mark right now. I'm trying to maintain, trying to get closer to that top 100k and have 1 or 2 great game weeks so I can push onwards and get a good rank. We've still got double game weeks, you know, after the World Cup and so on. We've still got a lot of chips to play. If I can just maintain it as long as I can, this rank, I can probably finish this season on a good rank. But we'll just see. I'm trying my best not to make a lot of mistakes, but you know, sometimes that happens, right? So this will be the team. I'll have 0.6 in the bank, and I could remove Dunk and I could go and get another Arsenal player, maybe like Saliba, but Saliba's got 4 yellow cards. That's not going to help me out in the long future. But you know, all of these players that got like 4 yellow cards, especially like Jesus, if he doesn't, he can continue to score and return big. He's still highly owned, and he's a player that can hurt the rank a lot if he gets like a hat trick or something. But then I'm just going to hope that Martinelli and Saka is going to provide those assists. So if I had to go for another Arsenal player, I think I'm going to go with Gabriel. That is 5.1, and I have just 0.1 in the bank. So that is what I'm thinking to do. I think looking ahead, like let's just have a look at these fixtures. Yeah, Manchester City, great fixture for them. Spurs against Bournemouth. I can see Son, Harry Kane, maybe Tony doing well here. Yeah, Crystal Palace players. Yeah, I guess Zaha could return. But this game here is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at basically these 3 here and Manchester City. So that's what I'm looking. I'm just gonna hope that nothing happens in these middle bits. And I've got 2 Arsenal players for Nottingham Forest. And yeah, so looking good actually. The team is quite good set up. I've got 3 Manchester City players against Fulham there. Want to have a lot of players here actually. I might actually get an Everton player maybe, but I do want to bank the transfer. I've got 2 Arsenal players against Chelsea. You just never know what can happen there. You know, Newcastle against Southampton, great fixture for Newcastle. So I think this game week here, game week 15, could be a little bit of an issue for my team, but for game week 14 and game week 16, which is the final game week before the World Cup, it looks good for my FPL team. Got 3 Manchester City players against Brentford. I've got 1 Liverpool player. I could invest in another one. Wish I had maybe Harry Kane here. That could help me out. That could help me out with getting those extra points. I guess Zaha could go back and get him if I wanted to, if there are some injuries. Got Newcastle players against Chelsea. This is going to be a very, very difficult game for Newcastle, but we'll just see what happens. And yeah, and the final game is Fulham against Manchester United. I've got Mitrovic and Andreas just in case to help me out. So it's looking okay. I think I'm quite happy with the team, and that is pretty much it. Now, if Haaland is out for 3 game weeks, let's just say, as an example, 3 game weeks he's out, I think I'm going to bring in Harry Kane. I might not bring Harry Kane straight away, but we'll just have to see. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you guys enjoy this. Please give the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.